Hey, good morning, America. The slippery slope. That's what I want to talk about. The fact of the matter is, when people break God's laws, they start to lose the Spirit of God. Most of them don't even understand that, don't recognize it. They just don't have enough experience, I guess, of having to pay for their sins yet, of breaking God's laws. But it gets easier and easier and easier. That's why it's called a slippery slope. And eventually, those that do that will reach a point of no return. They won't even have the ability, the cognitive ability to realize what they've been doing. This applies to everyone, but to me, most especially, those who are in power or have been empowered. Like law enforcement. Look what the ATF did to Brian Malinowski. That was outright murder. So they started off. Did they start out to want to murder people? I doubt it. Did the FBI start out to want to murder people? I doubt it. But you keep going down that slippery slope. And next thing you know, you're doing things you never, ever thought you would do. For us older generation, we remember the Vietnam War. And we remember an event called the My Lai Massacre. And that's where American soldiers slaughtered innocent villagers, over 50 of them. Did they start off to do that? Did they enlist or get drafted with the idea, well, let's go over and just murder innocent people? No. Came by increments. It's the slippery slope. If you look around today at law enforcement, your local law enforcement, they're being trained by fusion centers. The fusion centers are federal. They pay the states so much money to come into that state and teach them the right way. That's where all this crap comes up, that you have to ID yourself at any time a police officer asks you, or you're obstructing. And if you continue to obstruct, then you're resisting arrest. And you know what? The charges just pile up after that. Did law enforcement start off to do that? Was that their goal? Excuse me. Was that their goal? I doubt it. I think a lot of law enforcement, police officers get in for the right reasons. Initially, they want to do the right thing. But little by little, they become compromised. And it starts from the top. Right now, it's the federal government and the fusion centers. And what happens? Given enough time, and it doesn't take that long, the next thing you know, they're in free fall. And there's nothing they won't do. There's nothing they won't do. Just look around. You know how long they've had these concentration camps, FEMA camps, with guillotines in them? They've been there for quite a few years, just waiting to be used, okay? And they keep passing these insidious laws, which aren't laws at all, and then they force them upon the American people. And that law enforcement officer out there, he becomes no different than the Gestapo, the KGB, East German secret police. It becomes no different. And we're, to a great extent, we're there now. And it's either you or them. And they know that. They don't want to lose their job. No. They got too much pride for that to really stand up and say, I won't do this. This is immoral. They won't do it. I shouldn't say they. There's some that do. But look at our judges. These judges, I mean, they pass very immoral judgments all the time. I've sat through a lot of these court cases, and I've listened to judges as they give jury instructions that binds the jury to the point they have no choice but to come up with guilty verdicts. I've seen it. One case in particular was Bruce Doucette. When those jury instructions came down, I said, it's over. Because the jury isn't intelligent enough to have jury nullification, especially in a liberal place like Colorado. You had a bunch of, and it's happening everywhere. Look what happened in Idaho with Ammon Bundy. Those should have been slam dunks, not guilty. Huh? Was it jury instructions or was it just a liberal jury? And that's a real problem. And it's spreading, and it'll just get worse and worse and worse until the noose is so tight around your neck you won't dare do anything. And you'll watch. You'll watch as your friends, your neighbors, your children, your family are destroyed, and you won't do anything. The time to stand is actually past. So, we're in free fall right now. Grow some kahunas and let's do something. Over and out, America.